Blades. So, 3-0. Beating Swansea 3-0, and it weren't just... It were a 3-0 game and all. Absolutely dominated them. I think to a man, they played fantastically well. Jack Robinson, potentially my man of the match. I mean, it's water under the bridge now, Jackie. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic performance all the way around. I'm normally quite pessimistic and sort of doubting how we'll do in games and nervous and things like that. I didn't really feel like that. We went 1-0 up after 20 minutes. Fantastic placed finish by Sander, who I thought had his best game in ages. And I just, from there, it never felt like we were in any danger. Controlled the game from start to finish, built on that fantastic Wrexham performance. I were hoping that would bleed into league form. I know there's been some criticism recently, and Eki pushed back on this quite strongly. But I agree with general consensus that we haven't played great, probably since Burnley. Since we beat Burnley 5-2, I think we've been very professional, been very efficient. We've got the results, so ultimately, does the performance matter? I suppose that's a different conversation. But when the performance matches the result, like it did yesterday, just fantastic all round. And to be honest, can we have any better momentum going into Boro? That game against Boro, I thought Norwood, the conductor, as they call him, John Egan called him the architect in his Instagram comments yesterday, controlled the game again. Thought Bogle were back to his best. Fantastic. Involved strongly in 2 goals. Were fouled. I'm screaming for a foul for first one before Sanders puts it in bottom corner. How can you not see that? The referee. And to be fair, we were saying this yesterday. When you win 3-0 and you're moaning about the referee, he's got to be bad, hasn't he? Because normally you just laugh it off. But some of them, their player goes down injured when we've got possession, and the referee awards them possession back, stops play, don't give a foul. It's one thing if he gives a foul and it's a free kick, that's weak. But on more than one occasion yesterday, I think it were about 3 times, their player we recover possession in final third, their player goes down, ref stops play because it's, if he's holding his head or whatever it might be. And I get it if it's a head injury, but it weren't. Some of these were grabbing their ankle. Thought Manning, who was a good player, but were diving all over the place. The referee just gives up ball. No drop ball, no, keeper, kick it back to Blades because they had possession and we'll start again. I could not believe it. He didn't know what he were doing yesterday. I thought it were absolutely awful. But it don't take away. And I think, to be honest, that spurs us on in certain ways as well. I think that's even more momentum. We've sort of overcome the 12 men, if you like. That's what it felt like yesterday. I didn't think Swansea posed much of a threat. They got through a couple of times. But I'm confident going into Wednesday. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm not, we might get beat. And I hope to God we don't, because for me, this is a season-defining game. I'm never confident going into games, and I'm sure I'll get very nervous leading up to the game as well. But that's some of the best football we've played, certainly since Burnley. We can't be in any better position. I think our key men, Sanders looking back to his best yesterday for me. McBurney on score sheet again, which is what we need. Egan controlling things. Jack Robinson could have had a hat-trick. I thought he was superb yesterday. I've obviously been part of the vocal majority at times about Jackie Longthrow, but I thought he were absolutely superb yesterday. I thought everybody to a man. Really, really good performance all round. Hope that Billy's not out for too long. Limped off, and when Billy's limping, it's not a good sign because he'll play through anything, won't he, Will Bill? And he's looking for his 250th league goal and nearly got it yesterday. That was only time I thought we got a lucky break yesterday were when Billy got that chance, because I did think Bogle fouled their man in build-up. But other than that, to be honest, it was one-way traffic all day. It certainly won't be like that on Wednesday, but if you put yourself in Boro's shoes, they've got to come on to us. They've got to try and beat us because it's their last throw of the dice for automatic promotion. That's where they'll see it. They have to beat us. and that'll suit us, I think. It'll be end-to-end stuff, and I'm not saying we'll definitely come out on top, as I say, but I'm up for it. I'm excited. I think we need to be vocal as a fan base, and I think we will be. I think they'll bring a fair few. They'll probably sell out their allocation. I don't know if they have or they haven't, to be fair, but they will, and they'll be vocal. But I think let's just have another result like we did last season when Boro came to town, because can you imagine? I mean, it's a must not lose. There's no doubt about it. If ever there's a game we don't want to lose, it's this one. But can you imagine if we beat them? Can you imagine? We go 13 points clear of them with a game in hand, with 15 games to go. They'll have 14 games to go. Because as it stands at minute, they've got 15 games left to play. So the maximum they can possibly get, which they won't, because nobody wins 15 games unless you're Burnley. Nobody wins 15 games in a row, but the maximum they can get is 45 points. With 10 in front, so the maximum points we need, 36. So 36 points from 16 games. Now then, if we beat them, then we'll need 30 points from our remaining 15 games. So 2 points a game, which we're already in front of that, to be fair, in his current totals. And that's if they win every single game from then on out. So it's a huge game. And I'm more excited for it than I am nervous at the moment. I'm not saying it won't change come closer to kick-off, because I'm sure it will, but I'm not going to do a full what's your team, because my team will be the same that I pitched for pre-game last against Swansea. And just so you're reminded, this is my team, but that's what I wanted to see. And I think obviously with Bill's injury, that's what we probably will see this time. And I'm confident. I think we're playing so well at the minute. They're playing well. They beat Cardiff 3-1 at Cardiff, but Cardiff are poor. Swansea coming into the game, I think I saw this stat before they lost to Birmingham, to be fair, but on like expected goals and expected points, they should have been fourth, Swansea. So they should be a decent team. They weren't. Or we certainly made them look ordinary. So it's a great time to be finding that gear that we need. And another thing we've touched on previously is how United play up to the level of opposition in front of us. And if we do that, if we raise our game, we tend to play better against the better teams. Look at the Burnley result as a prime example. There's only Watford that were the anomaly at the beginning of the season, and that were Clark playing right centre half, and that were one mistake because they were playing on the wrong side. So I'm very confident is untrue, but I'm very excited. I just can't wait for Wednesday to come, to be honest. I'm keen to see if you share my excitement and probably a little bit of, nervous energy towards it. But how are you feeling? Let me know in the comments, because for me, this could push us over the edge. And to be fair, what we've got to say as well to balance it out is, if we lose, it's not the end of the season. It's not the end of the world. Yes, we've got some tough games coming up. This is now where we've been talking about. We've got the games of the sort of lower end teams out of the way now for this period. Over the next 11 games, 9 of the teams we're playing are in the top 10. So tough times to come, but Boro have got to play them as well. So it's not like, it's just a tough test for us, and there's going to be some really tricky games. There'll be some tricky games for them as well. So, I think they play West Brom. They might even play West Brom away. Don't quote me on that, but we play them at home. They play Burnley before we play Burnley. And to be fair, the way that Burnley are going, I think Burnley could be promoted before we play them. We play them on 10th of April, and I know that because that's my birthday. They could be up on 10th of April, which obviously it harkens back to Fulham last season, where Fulham were already promoted when we played them, and Dye scores that fantastic solo effort. So there's all sorts of connotations that you can think about, and I just think that result yesterday has sort of settled me a little bit. It were interesting to hear Sanders' comments. I'm not going to do a full-blown off the pitch today either, because there's only one thing I wanted to touch on, but Sander will be running his contract down, I think. He were interviewed by Gids yesterday. It were posted on Blade's YouTube channel. They've asked him, was there interest in the summer? And he's like, I'll just leave it to my people. Yeah, I'll leave it to my people. It's an awful Sander accent. So didn't dispute that, which is fair. You know, I think it were common knowledge. He said he wanted to be part of the Wrexham squad, but then Gids asks him, are you wanting to, you know, complete the mission, get to the Premier League and then see out your contract with Sheffield United? And they were like, I don't know, I don't like to think about these sort of things. And there were no firm commitment. The way I interpreted it anyway was that I don't think he'll stick around after his contract's done. I don't think he'll either see the end of his contract, or if he does, it'll be another Lundstrom situation where he goes for nothing. So we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If Dozy comes in with billions, which, you know, I know is best case scenario because we don't quite know his worth, then we might be looking at a new Blades that like to kick on. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's just get Boro out of the way first. Thank you again to new subscribers. It's very much appreciated. I'm now over the 600 mark, so we're now on the next step. I don't have to play me copyrighted music with Boris dancing away to it. Let's talk about 6. But now we are climbing the stairway to 7. So I know it's a bit of a cheap one, that, to be fair, but I've got a really good one for when we get into 8, and we're aiming for 800. So if you can get me over the 700 as soon as possible, it will be worth waiting for. So thanks again for coming along with me. Don't forget to catch me on the Sheffield United Way tomorrow. I'll be on there talking about the left centre-back issue and whether we can replace Jack O'Connell. So I'd like to know your thoughts on that as well. Give us a like, share, comment, but most importantly, make sure people who are watching it are subscribing. Very much appreciated. In a brilliant mood after yesterday. So come on, you red and white wizards, and as always, up the Blades. Ramble on. Well, now's the time.